Good morning and welcome back to B for TV, your daily dose of industry information. Today we're going to be talking about the EU entry-exit system, and Robert joins me with some further details. So firstly, good morning, Robert.
Good morning to you, Natalie.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure.
We're going to be talking about the EU entry-exit system, obviously.
Yes.
So can you tell us first of all what the EES actually is?
Yes, and actually the graphics explain it better than I ever could, really. Basically, there are two systems that will link. The first one that will be coming in is the EES, and that's a system to manage the flow of people to and from the European Union, and to manage also the time frame that they are actually staying within Europe, because you can be within Europe, the Schengen area, for 90 days in 180 without the need for certain things like a work permit. So that's that. The other part of the process, which will come in the autumn of 2026, we believe, although this is already very late, is basically for the countries, and I think there's 37 of them, where there's an arrangement between the EU and that country, which means that you don't need a full visa to access the European Union. And so from the autumn of 2026, you'll need to put, if you like, your ETIAS data into the EES declaration. There's far too many E's in that. Now, when you apply for this, you have a 3-year period of validity, and there is a cost involved, and I think it's about €20. But I have seen there's still ongoing negotiations. This is free to use, has to be done at the port or airport, and you do this every time you travel to the countries that are affected by this.
So it's almost like a European version of the American ESTA, essentially.
Yes, I'd say so. I mean, to my world, it's a people version of the import control system.
Sure.
Yeah. Because you've got this and that, and you've got your MRN in ICS and other documents that you have to do the declaration.
Sure.
So that's how I look at it. But yes, you're right. It is like the ESTA.
Yeah. So when the EES becomes operational, what is it designed to achieve?
It's basically designed to achieve two things. Firstly, to monitor the flow of travellers, people, holiday makers, whatever, into the European Union, and to ensure compliance with this 90 and 180-day rule. And that is basically, if you exceed 90 days in Europe, you have then to apply for a work permit. There's certain problems with this, because if obviously a lorry driver or a coach driver, they will spend a lot of time in Europe because of the nature of their work. A British driver will. And it includes both work and holiday.
Right.
So if you go for your fortnight's holiday in Spain or Portugal or wherever, you've got actually only 80 days for work in that period. And it's a 6-month rolling period.
I see. Right, yes. So what will our travellers have to do differently when EES comes in?
Right, well, if anybody's been going through any of the main terminals at the moment, whether it be an airport or somewhere like Dover ferry port, you'll have probably noticed new booths coming up. And basically, when you go there, you have to fill in certain biometric details. And it's quite a bit rather like what you do for your passport. That's the key data. And there'll be other things like fingerprints and things like that you'll have to do. And the only thing is you have to do that every time you travel.
I see.
And that's one of our problems. If you remember, we talked about the possibility of an app that you could do it away from the terminals. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to have caught on in Europe, which is concerning. I think you can only use it if you're going to Arlanda Airport in Stockholm. So basically, that will be the difference. You'll do this electronically. You will still have, because quite a few EU countries are not ready to implement the electronics thing. So you'll still have your passport checks, and you'll get some large French gendarme going,
And Robert, my final question is, are there any exceptions to this rule?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
The most significant, probably from our commercial viewpoint, is you don't have to complete the EES for any travel to Ireland, and that's both the north and the south. That's simply because we have a different treaty arrangement with Southern Ireland.
Sure.
Cyprus, it doesn't apply to, so I can see everybody going on holiday to Cyprus. Also, some of the smaller states, Andorra, Liechtenstein, Monaco, I believe, and also rather bizarrely, I've never come across this before. If you are a passport holder of the Vatican State, you don't need to do this at all.
Interesting. Well, Robert, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and thank you for your updates.
That's fine. Thank you very much for your time, Natalie.
Further information on this topic will become available in due course, so please stay tuned for further updates. That's all for today's episode of B4TV, your daily dose of industry information.